Hello YouTube, this is Matthew Williams and I'm just bringing you a very small piece to talk about the bullshit that surrounds Karapa circles. Okay, Colin Andrews has just sent an email out, which I'm going to forward on to all the people I know, which it's not good what Colin has to say. I'm quite certain that people in the crop circle world know about just how devious and nasty Michael Glickman can be. But here we go. This is the latest, and I will read to you from Colin Andrews' website, which is colinandrews.blogspot.com, and I think it's www.colinandrews.com as well. You can get to it. But anyway, this is a 2010 story called International Crop Circles. And its headline is 2010 International Crop Circles Conference in England cancelled due following attempts to dictate the programme. Now, I've had this happen to me. I've had this happen that when I've gone to a conference that's taking place, some of the speakers, such as Lucy Pringle, have said that they're going to not speak at the conference unless I'm removed from the building. And this is something that I'm familiar with, so I'll go on to what Colin actually says. And it says, Power Places Tours program directors were contacted by Michael Glickman and Gary King, who were also speaking at the conference, and they were insisting that I be removed from the ticket, otherwise they would refuse to speak. The Power Places tour directors, instead of doing that, decided instead to cancel the whole conference. So, well done, Michael Glickman, or as I call him, Michael fucking Prickman. Well done. You know, you've managed yet again to cancel another conference. This will be the second conference that's been cancelled because of Mr. Michael Glickman, because another one was by Kerry Blower, where Michael Glickman insisted that Kerry go out and buy expensive Kodak slide projectors. He wasn't prepared to speak unless Kodak slide projectors were in use, and no other slide projectors of any type would be sufficient. It had to be Kodak slide projectors, otherwise he wasn't going to speak. So the upshot of this was, it pissed Kerry off so much, she cancelled her conference. So just like this conference, which would have gone ahead and would have been for the benefit of crop circles, because of Michael Glickman's big, scrawny, fuck-ass head, basically the conference has been cancelled. So there you go. This is the type of people you're dealing with. Anyway, Colin goes on to say that the situation we find ourselves is not unexpected. It fits in perfectly to the discussion of 2012 and the transitional period we are in. This is a time when the old structures of deceit and manipulation are failing. Well, they certainly are, because I think most people, apart from Michael fucking Glickman, actually know that the crop circles are made by people. And it says, what the future will look like depends on what we create and the actions and the decisions we make today. It depends on freedom of thought, freedom of information, and freedom of spirit. And this is what my research has been on. And I must say, good on you, Colin, because you're the only one who took the bold step of telling the truth. And that took a lot of balls. Yeah, that took a hell of a lot of balls. And won't be forgotten that you were the first one to actually come forward and tell the truth about crop circles in such a big way. Okay? All the rest, flies in this room tonight are just horrendous. All the rest of the researchers out there are just trying to make money out of the subject, and they're not telling the truth at all. They haven't got a conscience about it. They don't care. They're just trying to perpetuate a myth. And even when they know crop circles have been made by people, because they've been told that those circles were made by people and been given advance notice and even had the farmers confirmed to them that these circles have been made by people, they don't say. They don't say. And in fact, they'll ban you from their conferences. And this is what happened to Colin when he spoke up and told the truth about what he believed was going on in the crop circles and who was making them. He was banned from speaking at conferences. He lost all his sort of credibility with the so-called researchers, and they just banned him. They said, no, Colin, you're not right. Sorry. You may think you're a crop circle researcher, Colin, but you're not really a crop circle researcher anymore. And the truth of the matter is that Colin, when you boil it down, Colin is the crop circle researcher, because he and Ron Russell, maybe Ron Russell and Simeon Hine as well, these are the only people who've really been telling it how it is. I mean, you've got, George Wingfield as well, but these voices are not well heard, and certainly they're not invited to speak at conferences where they'll be talking about the fact that they believe that the crop circles are mostly, if not all, man-made. So, Colin goes on to say that the future is taking effect as old feathers fall by the wayside. 2012 and beyond gives great hope for all our children. And Power Places tours have never experienced anything like this before, the cancellation. And it's extraordinary to consider that an institution that has engaged high-caliber people to dialogue and present for them, such as His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Mrs. Anwar Sadet, Greg Braden, Deepak Chopra even, Neil Donald Walsh and many others, would be dictated to in this fashion by somebody like Glickman. And their reaction to this is the reaction that a lot of people have. You try to tell me my business, you try to tell me what I have to do, and I will walk away. And that's the type of effect you have, Mr. Glickman. So I hope if you do watch my videos, you take note of this. You are a fucking ick. You're an absolute ick. And you really do need to realise that you have a very small audience of people that are actually listening to your bullshit these days. Yeah, and Gary King trying to get on board with his, I know that the crop circle in the Eastfield couldn't be made because I was up on the hill all night long. Yeah, when we have actually proven to you, Gary King, that the footage that was taken on that field that night, when you were looking at it and you said nothing appeared because I was there all night long, if you actually contrast enhance the footage, you can see the crop circle being made. Yeah, this is the caliber of Gary King. Excellent research, Gary. Yeah, but rather than admit that you're wrong, rather than admit that the crop circle was being made in that field that night, what do? You deny it, and you just carry on telling people that there's no way that crop circle could have been made, even though the video footage, which you were there watching, being filmed, the video footage actually tells a completely different story. But that doesn't stop you, does it, Gary? Gary will tell it the way he wants to tell it in order to make some money. Just like Mr. Glickman. All about money. This is what it's about. It's about controlling the subject for your benefit to make money. And that's something the crop circle makers don't do, because they don't make any money out of it. So who's the bad guys? It certainly ain't the researchers. I mean, the crop circle makers. It's the researchers. Anyway, there you go. Just thought I'd fill you in on that. But thanks very much, Colin, for that news piece. I hope you don't mind me re-reporting it on YouTube. But there you go. Check out Colin Andrews' website. One of the few honest people in crop circle research.